Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता as it is की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita Shloka. We are reciting Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 12, text 11. If anyone needs to go first, please raise your hand. Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita, go ahead.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So text 11. Well,
अथैतदपि असक्तोषि कर्तुं मद्योगम् आश्रिता सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Arunita.
अथातीतदपि असक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलं त्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. Translation. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Inba is here. No. Isha.
अथैतदपि शक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यथात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated.
Krishnashish.
अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुम् मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated.
Madhava.
अथैतदपि शक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, try to act, giving up all your results of work, and try to be self-situated.
Rasapriya. Okay. Yes, Mataji. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Meda Hare Krishna.
अतैतत् अपि असक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगम् आश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. Translation. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated.
Yes. Mataji is there? Usha Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Athaidapi asaktosi kartum mad yogamasritaha sarvakarma phalatyagam tata kuru yatamavan. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Okay. Next. Lokesh. I missed Lokesh.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai Guru Maharaj.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
अतैतदपि असक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यथात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated. Thank you, Mataji.
Lokesh.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
अतैतदपि अशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगम् आश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all your results of your work, and try to be self-situated. Thank you,
Okay.
Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So next is Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Athayatadapi ashaktosi kartum madyogamashitaha sarvakarma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work, and try to be self-situated.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. So next, Inba Jai Shri Mataji, Jai Ganesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
अतैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. Translation. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
अथैतदप्यसक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यथात्मवान्. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Yeah. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Tanvat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
तथैतदप्यसक्तोषि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तथा कुरु यथात्मवान्. Translation. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Jai Shri Mataji is there.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
अतैतत् अपि अतक्षोषि
Ashaktosi.
अशक्तोषि
Shaktosi.
okay. अतैतदपि असक्तोषि कर्तुं मद्योगम् आश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यथात्मवान्. Translation. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Did everyone recite?
Mataji,
Yes.
just if you can explain the meaning of self-situated in this context. That would be
Okay. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, Atmavan, Yata Atmavan, self-situated. What does that mean? Let's read Srila Prabhupada's purport. It may be that one is unable even to sympathize with the activities of Krishna consciousness because of social, familial, or religious considerations, or because of some other.
Today. We said school is very rough today, rough this week.
Yeah. If one attaches himself directly to the activities of Krishna consciousness, there may be objections from family members or so many other difficulties. For one who has such a problem, it is advised that he sacrifice the accumulated result of his activities to some good cause. That means instead of enjoying it itself, he'll just give it to somebody else. He's not giving it to Krishna. He's just parting with the results of his work. Such procedures are described in the Vedic rules. There are many descriptions of sacrifices and special functions for the full moon day, and there is special work in which the result of one's previous action may be applied. Thus, one may gradually become elevated to the state of knowledge. It is also found that when one who is not even interested in the activities of Krishna consciousness gives charity to some hospital or some other social institution, he gives up the hard-earned results of his activities. That is also recommended here, because by the practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually. That's what is self-situated. Okay, what happens is, by practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually, and in that purified stage of mind, one becomes able to understand Krishna consciousness. Of course, here Krishna consciousness means, what happens here is Nishkama Karma. This is Nishkama Karma. Sarva Karma Phalatyagam means what? You are giving up the results of your work. By doing that, what is the result of Nishkama Karma? The result of Nishkama Karma is Antahakarana Shuddhi, purification of your heart. What happens when your heart is purified? You will realize that you're not this body, but you're a spirit soul. This is what is being self-situated. To realize that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. That comes when you perfect your Nishkama Karma Yoga. That means you absolutely have no attachment whatsoever to the result of your work. You may be working all day, but that work doesn't bind you because you have nothing to do with the result of that work. But still you can karmanyeva adhikaraste, that shloka. You have a right to do your work, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your action, but at the same time you're not lazy also, right? You will do your work, but you renounce the results. No attachment whatsoever. And at the same time, this is nishkama karma. What is the result of nishkama karma? Antahkarana shuddhi. That means purification. Purification from what? From attachments, right? You become completely detached from this world. That is Antakarana Shuddhi. Your heart becomes purified. And what happens when your heart is purified? You will realize that I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. Self-realization. That is the result. So here self-situated means you realize the self. Okay.
Yes, Mataji. So this is not giving the fruits to Krishna. It's giving the fruits to anyone.
Yes, you are just parting with the results of your work.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Because that work binds you. You know that if you take the results, it's going to bind you to this world. You don't want bondage. So you're just sacrificing. You're just giving up the results of your work. So you can give it to some charity, some poor person, whatever. You won't take the result yourself. You'll part with the results of your work. That's all.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Nilambari Mataji is here. Mataji, you can also recite the verse. We are reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text 11. Memorization shloka. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Athaitad api ashaktoshi guru kartum mad yogam ashritaha charva karma phalatyagam tata kuru yatatmana mavan. Translation.
You want me to scroll up?
I don't know. Become bigger. What is the first letter, Mataji? Okay, now I get it. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
And also recite Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text 11. Athaitad apya shaktosi kartum madhyogam ashritaha sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then just try to give up the results. Just try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Mataji, Usha Mataji, you're raising your hand.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. One small doubt, Mataji. So if you give up your results, is okay, Mataji. But if you give up your results to someone else, like something else, then again it's karma bonding, right, Mataji?
Oh, yeah. If you are doing it for someone else, then that's also because when you give it to someone, then by giving that you are incurring something in return. Let's say you're giving, but here the idea is you're parting with the result. You're just well, even donations that you give, it's pious activity. It's pious activity. Punya karma is different. Basically, see, you can give in charity, but by giving in charity, if you are giving in charity expecting that this is punya karma, by this punya karma I will go to Swarga, or by this punya karma I will get some good benefits. Next life I'll be born in a rich family, things like that. So with that intention, if you're doing so, yesterday I think in ISKCON Philadelphia, I was discussing this. Yagya arthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana, right? So yagya is sacrifice. Sacrifice means you are giving up something in the interest of another person. That is sacrifice. Okay? So the result of sacrifice is, and especially, and the perfection of sacrifice is when you actually do this sacrifice. So everyone is sacrificing in this world. Everyone is sacrificing. As parents, they're sacrificing for family, for children. And if you have to get some good grades, then you have to sacrifice, forego so many, fun things, so that you sacrifice that time and that energy you put into this. So everybody is sacrificing. But what is the perfection of sacrifice? When you sacrifice for the sake of the Supreme Lord, that is the perfection of sacrifice. Now everyone is sacrificing to get something in return. So you said that if I am giving the results of my work, to some charitable organization, that is also karma. You will get some return. That is true. If you are giving the result with the expectation of a return, that's called kamya karma. Kamya karma means it's fruitive activity. You are giving up, you're performing a sacrifice there also. You're pleasing the demigods, you're performing yagya, but the purpose of your yagya is you want the result of that yagya. Whether you go to Swarga or you want this or you want something in return, some material return, specifically material return. If you want, then you get that as the result of your yagya. But if you completely part the result, I don't want the result. It's not mine. I'm just sacrificing it. I don't want the result of this. I don't want any material result for this. You understand? If you work with that consciousness, so that means you're parting with the result because you don't want any bondage. With that intention, you are just giving away, right? Something like, what can I say? I don't know if this is an appropriate example, but you have to pay your taxes, and then, but if you give it to some charitable organization, then it becomes, you're not. Anyway, I won't give this example. Because I don't have it very clear in my mind, the example. But
Is it deductible, Mataji? Tax deductible? Charity?
Charity is tax deductible. But I was trying to say that
You're not getting anything.
you are giving it there. It's not that you want to give it to the charitable organization because you want to help or something, but you are giving it because otherwise the government will take it from you, right? In the form of tax. So like that. But anyway, let's not take that example. I'll just stick to.
I have one example.
Okay.
Like it's like parents, when we are doing things for our kids, we are actually doing for no return. We don't, I mean, generally some people think that, oh, they will become old and they will take care, the kids will take care, but generally when we are just doing our duty, and we are not expecting any results for that.
But there also actually there is that aham mameti, mameti. So if I'm doing selflessly, I'll be doing it for neighbors' children also, street children, but I won't do. I will do only for my children. So it's not selfless, but your idea of that work that you do for the children, you're not expecting anything from them in return. So just to explain this concept of or this idea of working without any expectation of return. You're telling this. So we would not say normally, like then everyone will say then all parents are working for their children, so there won't be any bondage. We cannot say that. In fact, it's not that it won't have bondage, it will have bondage.
But
It,
not everyone is doing with that consciousness. There are people who also take care of their kids thinking that, oh, when I will become old, they will take care of me.
yeah, yeah, that's true. So idea is dharma. Yeah. So whether it is, yeah. So whether it is parents taking care of children, or kshatriyas doing their duty, brahmanas doing their duty, housewife doing her duty, just because this is my dharma, I have to do it. So with that mood, if the parents are taking care of children, I am the parent, it's my dharma to take care of this child, regardless of what he does when he grows up, it does not matter. So when you do it as a matter of dharma, then that is not going to bind you to this world. Yes, accepted. So coming back to Usha Mataji. So is it not going to bind if you give charity? It binds you. It binds you if you are expecting a return from that. It's something like you go to work, you work for 1 month, and you don't take your salary. That's what it is. You work, you work 9 to 5 every day, but after 1 month, you don't take your paycheck. This is Nishkam Karma. So even when you give charity also, charity itself is considered a pious activity. You'll get some punya result. You say, I don't want the result. I don't want the punya. I will give it. And the reason I'm giving it is not because I'm going to get something in return, or I'm giving it because I don't want bondage in this world. Take. I don't want. I will work, but I don't want the result. You understand, Usha Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. I think it's the intention or the bhav that what we do. That's what it is. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
So
thank
that's what, and how to get that is by doing your duty. You have to do your, so the way to get that detachment from the result of your work is you do your duty for the sake of duty. Like Mataji is saying, you take care of children, for example, just as a matter of dharma. So you give in charity also as a matter of dharma, right? This is, you just do it, like 50% of my salary every month, I'm just going to give. That's one. But Nishkam karma means full 100%. I don't take anything for myself. So actually, Nishkam karma is also very difficult to do. So even in that, there is two types. Those who do Nishkam karma for the sake of getting detachment. Detachment means I don't want bondage in this world. That's all. There is no affection for the Lord, nothing. Just I don't want bondage. That's Nishkam Karma Yoga. In the case of devotees, here also we do karma, right? We have our jobs and we do our duties as parents or other things, right? Karma. This is all karma. And then the result that we get from this karma, we offer it to the Lord with love. Okay? So just like Nishkam Karma Yoga is the stepping stone to enter into Jnana, here it is called Karmarpanam. The case of devotees is called Karmarpanam. So you offer your karma and the result of your karma to the Lord. Why? With love, with affection, you offer it to the Lord. After you work, then you get the money. With that money, you make some nice donations to Krishna. So you buy some nice offerings for Krishna, like that. Why you do that? Because you want to develop your, relationship with Krishna. You want to out of affection for Krishna. So this is actually done, offered to the Lord. And again, here also there are varieties. You offer it to the Lord with nice mood, but you know, if I offer it to the Lord, I will benefit. You understand? So there also there is Sakama, Nishkama, and Bhakti Matra Kama. Sakama means I'm offering it to the Lord, I'm offering it to Krishna, but I know if I give him $10, I'll get $100 back. So let me give him. I will offer him one basket of flowers. Oh, that fruit vendor, she she gave so many fruits to Krishna and she got so much in return. So if I go and offer patram pushpam phalam toyam, I'll give little bit to Krishna, I'll get more. You are offering there also. This is called actually abhasa. It's bhakti abhasa. It looks like bhakti because you're offering it to Krishna and favorably you're offering, oh Krishna, please accept it, right? And you're doing it, but you're doing it because you want some return, right? So that's also one type of karmarpanam, but it is sakama. Then there is Nishkama or Kaivalyakama. Kaivalyakama means I offer this to Krishna, and by this, Krishna is going to liberate me from all the sufferings of this world. That is also not exactly, that's not also really bhakti. It's called Karmarpanam. It's Bhaktya Bhasa, right? It looks like bhakti, but it's not exactly bhakti because there's some motivation behind that. And then there is third type of Karmarpanam, you're offering, right? Sacrificing or offering to the Lord. But the goal is you want to develop love for Krishna. You want to progress in bhakti. So you keep offering to Krishna. You do karma and you offer it to Krishna. This is wanted. This is wanted. This is what Krishna is saying to Arjun in 927, Bhagavad Gita 927. Yat karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhoshi, dadasi, yad tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Yad karoshi, whatever you do, right? Yad ashnasi, whatever you eat. Yad juhoshi, yad dadasi, yad. Then whatever worship you do, whatever sacrifices you perform, whatever charity you give, whatever tapasya, penances you do, austerities you perform, everything you do it for me. That means you offer everything to me. Anything that you do, you offer it to me. Karmarpanam. Why you are offering? Because you want to develop love for Krishna, for the sake of bhakti only. This is wanted. By doing this, what will happen? You will develop Vasudeva Katharuchi. Vasudeva Katharuchi means you will develop a taste for direct devotional service, for Shravanam. Shravanam is direct devotional service. Karma Arpanam is not direct devotional service. But just that Arpanam part is devotional. It becomes devotion because of that offering. But that work that you're doing, that doesn't become that work also becomes bhakti because you offer it to the Lord. But that bhakti is not pure devotional service. Anyway, again we'll go into the discussion of that. But in essence, offering to the Lord, when you do out of affection for the Lord, that is wanted. But there are different types of offerings. That's what I was trying to tell you. People do it to become free from bondage. People do it so that they can get some return. And people do that so that they can get liberation, different types of liberation. And then ultimately people are sacrificed to please the Supreme Lord. So the last one, that sacrifices which are done to please the Supreme Lord, that is required. That is required. Okay. So now let's begin Srimad Bhagavatam. So Sonia Mataji was the last person to read yesterday. Lokesh is here today, so Lokesh can read. and then Usha Mataji. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 19. So this chapter is entitled King Yayati Achieves Liberation. And the previous chapter was King Yayati regains his youth. And this chapter is King Yayati achieves liberation. So we saw King Yayati is telling his wife Devyani. Now he is like disgusted with this life of sense gratification, and he's telling her his own story in the form of an analogy of a he goat and a she goat. And he said that any person, a vanaprastha, right, who has given up his householder life, when he hears about the life of this person that he's going to tell about, right, this goat, anyone who hears about his life, anyone means one who has retired from family life. When he hears about the life of this goat, he will lament that, oh, how I have wasted my life as a householder. And then he begins that once there was a he goat, he was wandering, looking for fresh grasses and sense gratification. He finds a she goat in the well, and then he works hard with his horns. He, removes the earth on the sides so that the walls, right, become lower and the she goat can come out easily. That means he worked so hard. Why he did this? Because he got attracted to the she goat also. And then when the she goat came outside, the she goat also thought, oh, this goat is so handsome. He has such nice beard, such nice mustache, and he's so expert in sex life. And then, she's like, oh, can you marry me? I want to be your wife. And then not only this she goat, there were many other female goats who were also attracted to him. So this he goat, he became completely, as if haunted by a ghost. He was enjoying like anything with all these female goats. And in this way, he passed his life. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explained, so this he goat is actually a materialistic person, a materialistic householder whose aim is simply sense gratification. And what is that ghost that has haunted him? That desire, lust, right? That desire for sense gratification. Lust is the ghost. So ghostly haunted person means a materialistic person who is mad because of lust, wanting to satisfy his senses. So he wastes all his life like a ghostly haunted person. Let's continue reading what happened after that. So, yeah. So, just as a person haunted by a ghost exhibits madness, the best of the he goats, attracted by the many she goats, engaged in erotic activities and naturally forgot his real business of self realization. Yeah. The point is, this human form of life, what is the whole purpose of this human form of life? It is self realization. That's the only purpose why one gets this human form of life. But being haunted by this ghost called lust, human being forgets the purpose of his life and he wastes his life in activities meant to satisfy lust. Text 7. So Lokesh or Mataji. तमेव प्रेष्ठतमया रममाणम् अजान्यया विलोक्य कूपसंविघ्ना नामृष्यद्वस्तकर्म तत्. Lokesh, you're there? Usha Mataji? Medha?
Yes, Mataji. Translation. When the she goat who had fallen into the well saw her beloved goat engaged in sexual affairs with another she goat, she could not tolerate the goat's activities.
So this female goat who was in the well, that was rescued by the male goat, she became the wife of this goat. But this goat was also having affairs with other goats, other female goats. So when this wife, she goat, when she understood that this he goat is also having sexual affairs with another she goat, she became very angry. She could not tolerate the goat's activities. So who's telling all this? King Yayati is speaking to Devyani. Tam durhridam suhridrupam kaminam kshana sauhridam indriyaramam utsrijya swaminam dukkhitayayau. Veda is there, Mataji?
No, Mataji, she left to school.
Priyank, one second. Nilambari Radha Mataji. You are
Hare
able
Krishna,
to.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Go ahead, Mataji.
So it's the purport.
Translation.
Okay. Aggrieved by her husband's behavior with another, the she goat thought that the he goat was not actually her friend, but was her hard-hearted and was and was her friend only for the time being. Therefore, because her husband was lusty, she left him and returned to her former maintainer.
Yes.
Hare
So, Hare Krishna. So this whole story is being said in terms of goats. So Maharaj Yayati is saying so goats, they have a master who maintains them. Somehow or other, the she goat was caught in this well. She fell in this well. And when she was rescued by a male goat, she became his wife. But she saw that her husband was actually having affairs with other goats, female goats. And she understood that, oh, he's not actually my well wisher. He's a very hard hearted person, this male goat. And he was my friend only for the time being, right? Just to enjoy with me. But actually, he's not really my friend. So this female goat went back to her former maintainer, right? So what does this mean? Purport. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji. Not ready?
Yes, Mataji. The word Swamin is significant. Swami means caretaker or master. Devyani was cared for by Shukracharya before her marriage, and after her marriage, she was cared by Yayati. But here the word Swaminam indicates that Devyani left the protection of her husband Yayati and returned to her former protector Shukracharya. Vedic civilization recommends that a woman stay under the protection of a man. During childhood, she should be cared for by her father, in youth by her husband, and in old age by a grown son. In any stage of life, a woman should not have independence.
Yes. So we've discussed this many times, came so many times. A woman is never, in Vedic system, a woman is never independent. She's never on her own. She's always protected and she's dependent. She's maintained, protected by a male at every stage of her life. When she's young, by her father. When she's grown up means when she's in her youth, by her husband. And in her old age, by her grown up son. She's always protected. Okay. So here, again, coming back to the story of the goats. So this female goat has a master. So how do we understand that? The same thing. Female goat has a master means a woman she always has a protector, a maintainer. That's a male. So just like this female goat left her current master, seeing that he is a hard-hearted person and he's not actually her friend, she went back to her former master. So just like Devyani, she left her husband and went back to her father. Right? It's very clear. So the word Swaminam is explained. Swaminam means to her present husband or to the former maintainer. That means she left Swaminam. The word Swaminam, significance of the word Swaminam is she left her existing maintainer to go to her previous maintainer. Next. Saujanya Mataji. Sopi chanugatah strainah kripanastam prasaditum kurvan idavidakaram nashaknot pathi sandhitum.
Being very sorry, the he-goat, who was subservient to his wife, followed the she-goat on the road and tried his best to flatter her, but he could not pacify her.
So this goat, male goat, when he saw that his wife is going away to her former master, he felt sorry. Oh, my wife is going to leave me. No, no, no. So he started running after her and tried to flatter her in so many ways, right? And pacify her. Uh, he even he was subservient to his wife. Yes. He was so attracted to her that he became like his servant. He was subservient to his wife. So when she was going to leave, he could not tolerate. So he literally ran on the road after her. And he tried his best to make her happy, to flatter her, to please her. But without any use. She didn't, she was not convinced. Next. Tasya tatra dvijah kaschid aja swamyachina durusha lambantam vrishanam bhuyah sandadherthaya yogavid. So next is Arunita, I think. Naditi Lata Mataji.
She
Yes.
already left for school, Mataji, and I am also driving.
Okay. So Inba, Inia, translation.
Yes, Mataji.
The she-goat went to the residence of a Brahmana who was the maintainer of another she-goat, and that Brahmana angrily cut off the he-goat's dangling testicles. But at the he-goat's request, the Brahmana later rejoined them by the power of mystic yoga.
Wow. So King Yayati is telling this story. He's telling his own story in the form of goats. So he said the she-goat went to her former master, who was her caretaker. And she went to the residence of a Brahmana who was the maintainer of another she-goat. Acha. She-goat went to the residence of a Brahmana who was already maintaining another she-goat, and that Brahmana angrily cut off the he-goat's dangling testicles. Right? Testicles means the genitals. He cut off the genitals of that male goat. So, you remember Shukracharya, he cursed Yayati, King Yayati, that you become old and invalid. Why? So that you can not have sex with other ladies like Sharmishta anymore. So that you'll remain faithful to my wife. So he cut off his sex life by turning him into an old invalid person. He thought, at least he thought, Shukracharya thought, now I am cutting off his sex life, his, no more sex life, because he's so old, what he will do. So here Maharaj Yayati is saying, when the she-goat went to a Brahmana's residence, that Brahmana angrily cut off the dangling testicles of this he-goat. But at the he-goat's request, the Brahmana later rejoined them by the power of mystic yoga. So Shukracharya had said to Maharaj Yayati that, okay, at first he cursed him to become an old man, and then he said, actually, you can exchange this the youth of another person. Ask one of your sons. If they agree to give their youth, then once again I can make you young. By my mystic power, I can make you young. I can transfer the youth of your son to you and your old age to your son. And once again, you will be strong and you can enjoy life. So, same thing here Maharaj Yayati is saying that at the he-goat's request, the Brahmana later rejoined the testicles by the power of mystic yoga. So, Inya, purport.
Here, Shukracharya is figuratively described as the husband of another she-goat. This indicates that the relationship between husband and wife in any society, whether higher or lower than human society, is nothing but the same relationship between he-goat and she-goat. For the material relationship between man and woman is one of sex. Yan maitunadi grihamedi sukham hi tucham. Shukracharya was an acharya or expert in family affairs, which involved the transfer of semen from he-goat to she-goat. The words Kaschid Ajaswami expressly indicate herein that Shukracharya was no better than Yayati. Both of them were interested in family affairs generated by Shukra or semen. Shukracharya first cursed Yayati to become old so that he could no longer indulge in sex. But when Shukracharya saw that Yayati's emasculation would make his own daughter a victim of punishment, he used his mystic power to restore Yayati's masculinity. Because he used his power of mystic yoga for family affairs and not to realize the supreme personality of Godhead, this exercise in the magic of yoga was no better than the affairs of he-goats and she-goats. Yogic power should properly be used to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the Lord himself recommends in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 47, Yoginamapi sarvesham madgatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam samayukta tamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all.
So, again, I'll read this. The she-goat went to the residence of a Brahmana who was the maintainer of another she-goat. So, what does this mean? So, we kind of overlooked this detail here. So, she went to a Brahmana who was her maintainer, yes, but this Brahmana was the maintainer of another she-goat. In what way? Just like this she-goat's husband, he-goat, right, who lifted her from the well. He became the maintainer. At that time we read it like that or not? A woman, in the purpose of Prabhupada said, a woman is not happy until and unless she has a husband who will maintain her. So the husband is the maintainer. Yes? But now she left that maintainer and went to her former maintainer, that means her former master, a Brahmana. But that Brahmana was also a maintainer of another goat. He's the maintainer of a goat, it is said. That is interesting, right? That means he's the husband. So this Devyani went to Shukracharya, but Shukracharya, he had a similar relationship with his wife, just like Maharaj Yayati had with Devyani and Sharmishta. That's the point. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is saying, because who is Shukracharya? Shukracharya is the guru of the Daityas and also he's in an exalted position. What is his position? Krishna says in the 10th chapter about his vibhutis, right? He says, amongst the Kavi, Ushana Kavi, right? Amongst Kavis, I am Ushana Kavi. Ushana Kavi means Shukracharya. That means he's highly learned Kavi, a very learned person. So of all learned persons, I am Shukracharya. Krishna is saying. That means that is Shukracharya's learning is a vibhuti of the Lord. But all that learning is used for what? It should be used for, just like we read, the human form of life is meant for self-realization. That's the purpose of human form of life. And whatever facilities you get in this, whether human form of life or higher forms, whatever facilities you have, they should all be used to attain this goal of self-realization. But in spite of having such high learning, Shukra means semen, Acharya means a preceptor or a teacher, right? One who teaches by his personal example, that's Acharya. Is Shukra Acharya, Shukracharya. That means he's a seminal guru, Srila Prabhupada says. So there, the disciplic succession is by semina. That means his sons, they become his, next, those who will inherit his position, right? That is seminal succession, disciplic succession, seminal succession. So, Shukra Acharya. So, the point is, even though he is in such an elevated position, such a learned person, but still all that learning is used for what? Just in this example of Devyani's, for the sake of his daughter, he cursed Maharaj Yayati to become old. Why his daughter? Because she's coming from his body, right? So that attachment. Aham mameti. This is me and this is mine. My children, my family. So all that, after all that learning, if your understanding is just about, I and mine on the bodily platform, then it is no better than goats, Srila Prabhupada is saying. Because even goats have the same consciousness, I and mine, right? He goat and she goat. So, whatever facilities we have, whatever learning we have, it should be used for self-realization. That's the point. So now this she goat went to her former maintainer, who was also a maintainer of another she goat. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is explaining. Shukracharya is described as the husband of another she goat. It indicates that the relationship between Shukracharya and his wife, husband and wife in any society, okay, is nothing but the relationship of a she goat and he goat. That means the relationship is based on sex. So Shukracharya was an expert in family affairs, which involved transfer of semen from he goat to she goat. Family affairs means how does the family grow? Through sex only it grows. And he is Acharya, who is expert in family affairs. So, yeah. Kaschid Aja Swami expressly indicate herein that Shukracharya was no better than Yayati. Yayati was engaged in sex life with Devyani and Sharmishta, but Shukracharya was no better than Yayati because both were interested in family affairs. And family affairs means what? Where does family begin? From sex. So even though he's in an exalted position, but the activity is still the same. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. Shukracharya cursed Yayati. Why? So that he cannot have sex anymore. But then he realized, oh, this is going to stop my daughter's sexual enjoyment because he becomes old. Okay, I will restore Yayati's masculinity again. And why he is so favorable to his daughter? Because she is born as a result of his sexual life. So that is his attachment. From my, she's from my body. So all this is completely on the bodily platform. He used his mystic power, his mystic yoga for family affairs. He didn't use them to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then you may have such highly powerful mystic powers, but all that you have is no better than the affairs between male and female goats. That's the point. Okay? Okay, then who is a real yogi? One who is always abiding in the Supreme Lord, who is always worshipping the Supreme Lord in transcendental loving service. He is the best of all yogis. Here, because Shukracharya said, by my mystic yogic power, I will transfer the youth of your son or whoever is offering you his youth, I will transfer that. That means he had such high powers, yogic powers. But who is the best yogi? Not somebody who's using his yogic powers for family affairs. He's not the best yogi. The best yogi is he who's always thinking of the Supreme Lord within his heart. Okay. So, yeah, there's a purport. So we will stop here. Jai Ganesh Prabhu and Jai Shri Mataji will read tomorrow. And let me read Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter 1. Text 23. So Arjun said to Krishna, please take my chariot in the middle of both the armies. I want to see who have come here to fight with me. I want to see who are the people that I am supposed to fight with. And I also want to see who are those people who want to support Duryodhan, wicked Duryodhan. I want to see. And who are desirous to fight with me. I want to see them. Okay, next verse 23. Yotsyamanavekseham ya etetra samagataha dhatarashtrasya durbuddher te priya chikirshava. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Yes. So the second part is, I want to see who are those people who have come here to fight with me, wanting to please Duryodhan. I want to see them. Purport. It was an open secret that Duryodhan wanted to usurp the kingdom of the Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father Dhritarashtra. Therefore, all persons who had joined the side of Duryodhan must have been birds of the same feather. Arjun wanted to see them on the battlefield before the fight was begun, just to learn who they were, but he had no intention of proposing peace negotiations with them. It was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength which he had to face, although he was quite confident of victory, because Krishna was sitting by his side. So there are two reasons why he wanted to see. First reason is he knows that he has to fight with Duryodhan. And, from a distance, he sees that Duryodhan has a big army. But exactly who these people are, he wanted to know. Right? Duryodhan accumulated his army. But who are all those people who are on the side of Duryodhan now? Why he wants to know who are on the side of Duryodhan? If they have sided with Duryodhan, they should be of the same mentality as Duryodhan. Because they are siding with Adharma. Duryodhan tried to know. He literally took away the whole kingdom of the Pandavas, usurped, right? By cheating, he usurped the kingdom of the Pandavas. And even though they fulfilled the condition of the gambling match by staying in the forest for 12 years and 1 year incognito, and when they came back, he wouldn't return the kingdom. So, who are the people who are siding with such Duryodhan, the wicked Duryodhan. They should also be wicked. Who are they? Let me see who these people are. Right? Maybe I was thinking they are my friends. Maybe I know some of them. And I was probably thinking, oh, they're all my friends. But when I see them on the other side now, I will understand, oh, they're siding with Duryodhan means they should be like Duryodhan also. Let me see who these people are. That's one point. What is the other point? As a warrior, right? Now, if you want to fight, you have to estimate the strength of your enemy and then you will prepare accordingly, isn't it? So, if you have a very formidable, powerful enemy, then you have to be prepared in that way to face that enemy. And if the enemy is not as powerful, then you don't have to exert yourself, So, to gauge the strength of the enemy, Arjun wanted to see who are all the warriors on the other side and what is the strength. Let me see. Just like Duryodhan, he saw the army of the Pandavas and he went to Dronacharya. Oh, look at the army, how nicely it is arranged, right? Like that, Arjun also wanted to see what is the strength of his enemy. For these two reasons, he asked Lord Krishna to take the chariot between both the armies. He wanted to see who those people were who wanted to support Duryodhan, and also he wanted to estimate the strength of the enemy with whom he was supposed to fight. Yes, that's all. Next is Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Continuation. Just bookmark this. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita continuation. Okay. So Prabhupada's typewriter got stolen. Yes. And then also Srila Prabhupada went back to Mr. Forster. Mr. Forster is the person, where he's the Skindia ticket agent. So Srila Prabhupada, if he wanted to go back to India, he would have to go to Mr. Forster. So originally, Srila Prabhupada had said that he would go back after 2 months, but 7 months had passed. And now Srila Prabhupada is telling him how his typewriter got stolen. And then he's not surprised, Mr. Forster is not surprised. And he said, this is common in New York. My automobile got stolen. Like that. Prabhupada had lost his spirit for living in room 307. What would prevent the janitor from stealing again? Harvey Cohen and Bill Epstein had advised him to relocate downtown. Remember, they were talking that this is the happening place here in downtown. We need the Swami here. They were already thinking. And at the same time, Srila Prabhupada's typewriter was stolen. So they suggested you should relocate downtown and had assured him of a more interested following among the young people there. It had been an attractive proposal and he began to reconsider it, Srila Prabhupada. Then Harvey offered Prabhupada his studio on the Bowery. Harvey had been working as a commercial artist for a Madison Avenue advertising firm. Commercial artist. When a recently acquired inheritance had spurred him to move into a loft on the Bowery to pursue his own career as a painter. So he got some inheritance. So he got some money. So with that, instead of working as a commercial artist, he wanted to start his own career as a painter. But he was becoming disillusioned with New York. A group of acquaintances addicted to heroin had been coming around and taking advantage of his generosity, and his loft had recently been burglarized. He decided to leave the city and go to California, but before leaving, he offered his loft for Prabhupada to share with David Allen. So, David Allen. David Allen had heard that Harvey Cohen was moving to San Francisco if he could sublet his AIR loft. Harvey hadn't known David very long, but on the night before Harvey was supposed to leave, he coincidentally met David 3 different times in 3 different places on the Lower East Side. Harvey took this as a sign that he should rent the loft to David, but he specifically stipulated that the Swami should move in too. As Prabhupada was preparing to leave his 72nd Street address, an acquaintance, an electrician who worked in the building, came to warn him. The Bowery was no place for a gentleman, he protested. It was the most corrupt place in the world. Prabhupada's things had been stolen from room 307, but moving to Bowery was not the answer. So somebody warned Srila Prabhupada, an electrician warned Srila Prabhupada that Bowery is not a safe place. So we'll find out what happened after that. Thank you all so much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. I'll see you tomorrow. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.